Welcome back. A near 100-point gain on the Nifty as we speak. Let's get in another management as well as of HUDCO with us. The company reported its third quarter numbers, saw lower operating expenses, and that drove growth, however, continued to remain weak. We have with us Sanjay Kulshrestha, who's the chairman and managing director of the company. Thanks a lot, Mr. Kulshrestha, for joining in. I was looking at your AUM. It was weakish in terms of growth, but led largely by the government projects and urban infra itself. So just wanted your thoughts on where do you see AUM growth going forward? How much comes in from government? How much comes in from urban infra? And what exactly happened with private? Why was there a slowdown according to you?
I think I'll start from the first part of the questions. HUDCO has a very strong asset base and we are continually growing. Primarily, we are funding to the state government and its agencies. We are into the housing, we are into the infrastructure, and our loan assets are continually growing. During last result of Q3, our profit earning has been raised by 33% on year-to-year basis, and asset base is also increased by 6.5%. So, keeping my answer limited, I think there are a lot of more opportunity which is coming out of the Government of India push out of the budget. Subsequently, this is the second budget that the Government of India has pushed the infrastructure and the housing. And these efforts are being supported and supplemented by the states also. So HUDCO is a player who is into the infrastructure financing as well as into the housing. And affordable housing is always into the harmonized list of the infrastructure.
With all of what you're talking about, with all the triggers and your company, the way it is positioned, what kind of asset-based growth can we see in the next financial year, that is FY25, if you could give us a sense?
So today we stand after Q3 at around 84,000 crores. We had kept our internal target for another 2 fiscal years. By FY26, we have a target to raise by 1.5 lakh crores, and which is I think a very achievable kind of thing looking at our pipeline and the potential which is available into the infrastructure project. But nevertheless, we had not planned only up to the 2 years physical of 1.5. We had planned up to 2030 in line with the Government of India requirement of the push for the infrastructure. So we are looking our company at 5 lakh crores by 2030. And we had made the roadmap. We had studied the infrastructure plans of the state government. And we are into the infrastructure and housing. And since there is a lot of push on the housing, you may have seen in the budget also and the state government announcements also that affordable housing, middle class housing, PM Grameen program. So all these things will give a good potential and the impetus for loan disbursement. So looking at all these things and the opportunities, we had kept our target for 2 years and we had worked out our target and the action plan for 2030 as well.
All right. Hi, good morning, sir, and good to see you, Vin. So from 84,000 crores, 85,000 crores, in the next 2 years, you go to 1.5 lakh. And by 2030, you're talking about 5 lakh crore. Let's see how you go about business on this front. In the near term, though, tell us about your NIMs. What is the cost of borrowing? And will the NIMs come under pressure? I think the last recorded numbers are around 3.2%.
You may have seen during last quarter, we had reduced our cost of borrowing and we had came at 6.87%. Now we had started making all-out efforts to reduce our cost of funds because we are working on basically 3 principles. One is to reduce the cost of funds. Second, to resolve our stress assets, and we had started resolving those things to improve our bottom line. And third is to expand our diversified loan assets. So we are making all-out efforts to reduce our interest rate, and now we had started going to the ECB funding also from last quarter. I have since we are actually, if you are asking about the NIM, we will be in the range of 3.5 up to 3.5% because we position our company as a truly sustainable infrastructure developmental institution. So profit are always there as a NBFC, they should be there. But at the same time, the asset creation should be more sustainable. And that is the objective of the company. And regarding the spreads, we are working around 1.75 and we will be maintaining between 1.75 to 2% of this.
All right. So NIMs will manage around that 3.5% with spreads between 1.75 to 2% itself. Take that point. But it is quite ambitious the way you are targeting your AUM to grow in the next 2 years, if it has to grow at the level that you're talking about, it implies a growth, a compounded growth of over 35% all the way up till 2030. This at a time when your first 9 months growth has not been as much. So what gives you this confidence? And secondly, in your overall project business, in your overall portfolio, what is it that will lead this growth? Will it be government infra? Will it be urban infra? Or will it be private?
Yeah, the leading will came from the housing and the infrastructure from both the sides, starting from the affordable housing to middle class housing and the infrastructure required for these houses and the industrial corridors. See, we had studied a lot of state government plans starting from the Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, AP, Rajasthan or UP. Every state government has coming out with the efforts to supplement Government of India plans. So
Okay.
I think potential and opportunity is not a problem as of now, since we are into the era of creation of the infrastructure, as our Honorable Prime Minister always says. So
Yes.
there is ample opportunities and there is a lot of huge demand in the state governments, and they want to monetize their assets. They want to develop, and there is a good expectation and aspiration from the public as well. So to cater those kind of aspirations and the expectation, lot of funds will be required. And HUDCO is positioned to not only a funding agency, we are into the consultancy, we are into the capacity building, and we are giving a technical assistance to those state governments to adopt the best practices for the projects.
Okay, all right. Is there any fundraise plan, sir, in the near term?
Yeah, actually, during last board meeting, we had enhanced our borrowing limits from 18,000 crores to 35,000 crores on 9th of February. And now we are planning to take the ECB route of Japan. Very soon in current month only, we are planning to raise ECB funding. So other than that, we are hoping that the bond market meltdown will start, since the Government of India has a very less deficit of 5.1%. So it will also give some meltdown to the bond markets.
All right, take that point. Thanks a lot, Mr. Kulshrestha, for joining in. The last 12 months, we've seen a near tripling of your stock price. And with the kind of growth guidance that you've given with NIMs at around 3.5%, the street will take note of that. More importantly, the execution of the targets that you've been giving will be extremely crucial to watch out for. Take a